Good morning, world. My name is Dr. Melissa, and you are watching Mornings with Melissa. Today is December the 2nd, 2020, and what we're talking about is health, how we can improve our health, and what's going on in the news and the world of health right now. Well, it is 2020, so y'all know what the big health world is, and it's all about COVID right now. And we're kind of learning as we go if you think about it. So some of the recent articles and research that I've read has been talking about the fact that if people are obese, their chances of having a bad outcome and death are 2 times more than people who are not obese or overweight. Now, this is a pretty startling statistic, especially considering the fact that 50% of Americans today are obese. It's an elephant in the room, and I'm talking about it. And I know it makes people uncomfortable, but the reality is that sometimes the truth is uncomfortable. And Americans, half of us are overweight. Half of us are at risk of dying of COVID at 2 times more the other half of us. And this is a huge contributor to why we're having such a high death rate in America. Despite the thought that we have the best healthcare in the world, we have some of the highest deaths in the world. So is it just the healthcare system? Well, there's a lot of it out there that is the healthcare system. And I think primarily it is because we have been led to believe that drugs and surgery are the way that we're going to gain health. But it doesn't sound like that's what's working for us. So why don't we just get back to the basics? And that's what we're going to talk about here today is what are some of the things that we can do that don't involve drugs, that don't involve surgery, that can help us get better health and help to decrease and fight the obesity epidemic that was pre-existing this COVID pandemic. And I'll tell you what, if we can solve the obesity problem in America, we will solve a lot of the health problems that exist in America today. So what do we do? Well, it's a complex topic. And one of the big things I've talked about, especially in my first season, was walking. Walking is one of the best things that a person can do in order to start their health and wellness journey. If you think about it, most of us have 2 legs and we can get up and move around. And even if we can only move around a little bit to begin with, if we just start moving, it can make a huge impact on our life. And if you make a goal of moving for 20 minutes a day, and maybe at first you just work towards gaining that 20 minutes, you do 2 minutes here, 2 minutes there, you work towards gaining 20 minutes total exercise or walking a day, and then maybe at some point you'd be able to connect all those minutes together and have a full 20-minute exercise and get the cardiovascular benefit of walking. It's pretty amazing to think that we have 2 things on our body already that allow us to work towards making sure we have better health so we can fight against this obesity epidemic that we're facing today, and those things are our legs. So one of the big things I talk about a lot is get up and walk. That's the first thing. Second thing, of course, is always going to be diet. Diet makes a big difference. Whatever we put in our body is what we feed our bodies with. And honestly, the American diet is not that great. We have been fed the idea of fast food and convenience eating for so long. Soda pop, artificial sweeteners. We've been told that fat is bad and sugar is bad and so many things are bad. And we have such a strange relationship with food here in America today. And there's so many things that we could do just to help ourselves make some better choices. And some of these, 2 of my biggest tips actually are, 1, when you go to the grocery store, shop around the outside of the store where the fresh food is at. If something comes in a can or a plastic bag, it is processed, it has chemicals. Your body's not designed to kind of process that. And so it's not good for you. So shop around the outsides of your grocery store. And then when you're thinking about food consumption and what you buy, you want to look at your hands. You want to have like this much veggies, this much starch, and this much meat. About the size of a deck of cards, some people might even say. So those 2 ideas can help you start to make a difference with your own dietary choices and the physiology that's happening inside of your body to help enable better overall health. And when each of us choose to start moving more and eating better, then as a society, we start to change that statistic of 50% obese, 50% not obese to maybe 25% obese, 75% not obese. And then what happens? We start to see that the cardiovascular rates of death have gone down. We see that diabetes rates go down. We see that heart disease goes down. We see that all of these horrible diseases actually start to decrease because more people are making choices that are fueling their body and fueling this beautiful thing that we have called our life to work as efficiently as it can of itself, which is what it was designed to do. No drug and no surgery will ever master what your body already knows how to do and what God has already given us to utilize on this earth. So I'm not trying to get all religious here. I believe that there is a creator because our lives are so amazing. And hey, do you have a question for me? Do you wonder how you could maybe get up and start moving more? Do you have an injury that you can't overcome and that makes you afraid to try to get moving? Well, ask me a question below and we can talk about it. And in the meantime, have a great day and thanks for watching.